It was about 17 or 18 years ago, and my middle son was diagnosed with autism. He would have all sorts of therapies to go to, and I needed to find some type of career that I could create for myself that would allow me to have all the afternoons off to go to occupational therapy and speech therapy. I could have been making artificial flower arrangements or scrapbooking or starting a lunch business. They're all kind of things I looked at. So there was a fellow in New York City who started a business buying sandwiches at delis and delivering them to office buildings. So I read that one, and I don't know why I thought I could apply it to school kids. I'm not really sure where that idea came from, but it did. And so I sent a flyer around in my neighborhood and asked, how wouldn't it be great if you didn't have to make lunch for your child to take to school and I brought it to your door? And of course, nobody responded at all except one person, and it was to ask me to buy something she was selling, I think. So it wasn't about my product or service. So, once my kids got a little older, I realized nobody wants someone coming to their door at 7:30 in the morning on a school morning to sell them anything or whatever, and that wasn't the way to deliver that kind of program. Nobody really enjoys making lunches for kids to take to school. Most people don't anyway. Some people I'm sure really like it, but by and large it's not often rewarding if it comes home uneaten or your children say I don't like that anymore when they've asked specifically to have that for the previous 10 days and all of a sudden one day then they hate it.
At what point did you say to yourself, this is viable, I'm onto something here. I may never sleep again for more than, I don't know, a couple of hours a day, but I'm going to stick with it.
Well, um, I'm still trying to think if I've really had that moment. I think when you're in business for yourself, you're always challenging and questioning what you're doing because those goals or those milestones are always elusive somehow. Your definition of what it means to be viable or what it means to be successful is always shifting. And it's sleep. Sometimes you sleep more than at other times. What changed it for me was that over time I started realizing that I was offering a really valuable service to communities, and I had a strong desire to share it with other people so they could also offer it to other communities to spread the brand. But also I could see that parents were really struggling and really could benefit from having the opportunity to have easy access to healthier food for their kids at school. I think that convenience, healthier convenience, I think is the thing that was the big aha moment for me. Probably dealing with the thoughts in your own head about what you can or cannot accomplish, dealing with self-doubt, dealing with lack of confidence. Sometimes when there are challenges, sometimes you get a feeling that that next challenge you face is just one challenge too many. But that everyone's life is like that, whether they have a business or they work for somebody else or whatever they're doing. That's just part of life, I think. But it's overcoming those moments when you tend to lose confidence in your own direction or what you're doing. But those are relatively short-lived. I meditate to deal with that. Actually, it's the most useful thing I ever learned how to do. I think that if you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. And that the greatest limit to anyone's success is the limit they put on themselves.